When does it make sense to get a price reduction? Hey, it's Maria Quattrone, and today I'm going to talk to you about getting price reductions in today's marketplace. Over the last several years as real estate agents, a lot of people didn't have to get a price adjustment. It wasn't necessary. Properties were selling over asking price, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. So there was no such thing as price reduction. So a lot of people are unfamiliar that have been in the industry for less than the last 5 years or less, really about getting price adjustments and what that looks like and how that all works. So one of the things that I wanted to mention to you, it's really important, is that you talk about the price adjustments when you take the listing. So it's all about future pacing our clients and making them, working with them to educate them about the market and what's going to happen. So for example, we're going to have a listing and our listing price is $375,000. And we've been on the market for the last 21 days and we could see based on the market activity, remember that you are the messenger as the real estate professional, as the realtor, you are not the market. The market dictates what the price is going to be for a property. We are the messenger to deliver the message back to the owner of the property. So we are on the market for $375,000. We're on the market for more than 21 days. And over that time, we've had 10 showings and 0 offers. So what does that say? That tells me that we are at least 5% an adjustment in price. Because any of those 10 buyers that came through would have put an offer if they saw the value of 5% under ask. So they didn't. None of those 10 people did. And in the 3-week period, 10 showings is okay. It's not fantastic, but it is okay based on what the market activity is today. So you have to understand what the market activity is and how that works. And the market activity is dictated by the price point and the location. So for example, some of the higher price points, say we're looking at a property that's $2 million. You're probably not going to have 10 showings in 3 weeks unless that's priced a lot under market value. But if it's priced at market value, in that case, you're probably only looking at a few showings because there's less people that would purchase something that can afford a $2 million house. So we list the house for $375,000. It's on the market for 21 days. Why do I say 21 days? Because that is the amount of time where we get the most activity in the market. That's why I always suggest to sellers, especially in today's environment, it is not good to overprice the property. Here's why. One, because we overpriced, caused our neighbor's house to sell first. What? What do you mean? Well, because our house was priced at $375 and theirs was priced at $350 and basically it's the same thing, it made their house look like a better deal. So that house went under contract. So we helped another listing sell when we overprice our listings. 2, buyers think, okay, well, maybe the seller is not that serious. They're not going to be pricing it to the price where it should be sold at or close to it. So we know the first 21 days is when we get the most activity. You can look across the board on all listings. You see the graph goes something like this, goes up, goes like this, and then it plateaus down and out. So it is critical that, especially in today's environment, that you can show sellers about why and educate them up front. It's all about talking to them up front about this, not after the fact. Okay. You need to be upfront and honest about pricing. A lot of times, a lot of listings get taken overpriced right now. There's tons. And that's because the market is changing. And it's difficult right now. It's difficult to understand 100% where the market is going, but you have to be looking at the numbers pretty much every single day. You have to be looking at the showings, you have to be looking at the numbers, and you have to be able to educate your sellers about what's going on in the marketplace. So if you do not do this, By the way, you have a fiduciary responsibility to do it. But if you do not do this, it could cost the seller more money down the line. So if they don't adjust quickly, and what I suggest, so we're on the market for 375, 21 days on the market. We had 10 showings, no offers. Now, a lot of times people want to reduce by, say, $10,000. Okay, here's the issue with that. We're at 365. Anybody who was at 375, 350 to 375 already saw it. We need to get into a new price bracket, which is 350, because the buyers that can afford the house at 350 is probably most likely the buyer that's going to buy this house. We've already tested the market for 21 days at 375. At 5% reduction, what you're looking at about $20,000 adjustment in price. But 355, that's a bad number to go to. We want to be at a price break point because this is how buyers look at homes online. They look at homes that are between 3 and 325, up to 350, up to 400, up to 250. So getting into that 350 range gives us a new set of buyers, a new set of people that could buy the property, because a buyer that's purchasing at 350 isn't going to be looking at a house for 375 because they can't buy the house at 375. And if that house was priced right at 375, they would not be able to make an offer because they don't qualify. So getting the price reduction starts at the listing meeting. It starts when you are meeting with the sellers to educate them about what's going on in the market. Okay, so then after the 21 days, you're able to go back to them and say, hey, Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller, here's where we are. Here's what I suggest we do based on what the market is telling us. Remember, you're just the messenger. You're the messenger. We're the messenger. We're not the market. We're not the buyer. We don't get to decide what the price is. The market will decide what the price is. Okay. So this is some tips today on how to get price reduction in today's marketplace. I hope that you found this helpful. Drop a comment, give me a like, or send me a message. I look forward to seeing you next week, and keep rising up in real estate. Have a fantastic week, everybody.